All right. Good morning, professionals you trust. My name is Tanya McLaughlin, and I have the honor of introducing our main speaker today, Leslie McFadden with Real Living Northwest Real Estate. First question is, how was she led to the industry? First was a desire to help others. She thought she would be good as a doctor, but determined she couldn't handle losing a patient. I definitely don't blame you there. Has she lived in multiple states? Yes. She was born outside Austin, Texas, and being in the Army took her to a number of different locations, namely South Carolina, Virginia, and back to Texas. And eventually she moved to Columbus, Ohio. As most of us know, that's where she started her real estate career. A little bit about her family. Her husband and her met 15 years ago when he needed to buy a house. Oh, who knew? They blended their families. Both of them were single parents with one beautiful daughter, and they included them both in the wedding ceremony to officially make them sisters. Super special things. I'm excited for you guys to learn more. And with that, Leslie, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much. So I represent both buyers and sellers, and today I wanted to focus a little bit on the selling side. We do a lot of things on our team that kind of differentiate ourselves from other realtors, and so I just wanted to focus on some of those today. So the first thing I want to talk about is influence. So you have range and reach when you talk about marketing a property. You can use any brokerage. It doesn't really matter. We all have the same IDX exchange when we enter a listing into the MLS. What really matters is the influence that that agent is going to provide for your property and for your well-being. We use a customized home marketing system. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see traditional marketing that most realtors will do. And if they're not doing that, then you shouldn't even be talking to them. But they at least should be doing some sort of pricing strategy, a CMA showing you what your neighborhood has done, some sort of open house, entering you into the MLS, for sale sign, things like that. We like to go way above and beyond. So the stair step you see on your screen kind of starts that. And then there's some customized things that we also do as well. I'm going to touch on a couple of these briefly. The first one is home seller insight. We have our clients fill out a form of the 5 favorite things they love about living in that property. Now, these are people who are leaving, right? But they've lived there for some period of time. And we think it's very important from a neighborhood standpoint or from just a lifestyle standpoint in general to know what they liked about living in that property. The other thing that we do is we are very strategic with our photography. So all of these pictures are taken about 20 times because it is impossible to take a picture with the lighting perfect on every single object. So what we have our photographer do is we have them double expose and take it at different lights. This property right here was taken 20 times in order to make the floor shine, the ceiling shine, and to really get that treehouse effect because it was up in these beautiful trees. And it was very important that that picture looked that way. This one down here is kind of a lifestyle suggestion. We like to be very suggestive in our photography as well. Most of these pictures are going to be on an iPhone, so I want to make that person come and see this house. So this is an example of what it would look like every morning at breakfast, looking at your family room. And then this picture over here, after a long days of work, you're looking out over the Olympics with a glass of wine on your back patio. So very suggestive in our photography. Another thing that we do on every single listing is aerial photography. Not only is this good for views, for instance, this one here at the top is on Cottage Lake, and it just had this really cool property that was the only way you could see it. But we also like to show property line, and we also like to show location within the neighborhood. So all of these things, again, are suggestive in the lifestyle that you would have if you were to live in this property. Sometimes aerial photography is the only way you're going to get a picture of the front of the house or the back of the house. For instance, this blue house, this was in Redmond, $2 million property, gorgeous backyard. It was totally impossible to take a picture of that backyard and show it off the way that it needed to be without a drone. So that was just a perfect snapshot of that neighborhood. And we did it strategically so that you could see the park across the street. So again, we're playing on lifestyle and we're playing on color and amenities and things like that. So this is a split entry house, which is just one of the most challenging styles of houses to take a front picture of, because it just doesn't, it's not friendly. So we always try to float a drone kind of on an angle, and it really shows off the house really nicely. Another thing that we do is we measure every single house that we sell. And I love floor plans because if you've ever looked at a new build, it's just so interesting and so easy to space plan, imagining yourself living in that house. But a lot of the existing homes, we don't have that luxury of having that floor plan. So one, buyers love this, and they can take it off of the internet and already know where they're going to put things before they come and look at the house. The other thing that this does is it verifies the square footage. A lot of times the auditor site will have an incorrect square footage, especially on split entry homes, because they won't include the lower level. And so we want to make sure that our clients are advertising the correct square footage and that people know the space that is actually in that house. We do this traditional brochures, flyers. Every one of our signs has flyers. It will never be empty. It's my personal goal. Just listed mailings. We want to tell the neighbors that something was just listed. However, on that note, I do a special visit to the neighbors 3 or 4 weeks before I list a property. So the second I have permission from my client, I ask them which neighbors I should go talk to. And what I'm looking for is an anonymous testimonial of why that neighbor likes to live in that neighborhood. Why should someone want to be their neighbor? So not only do I have the home seller insight, I have the neighbor's insight as well. And I personally knock on their door. I just hand this to them. I'm not soliciting anything. Most people are happy to see me. So Snohomish County, I may have heard a shotgun once or twice, but but for the most part, people are happy to see me. But the fact that they don't have to put their name or anything on it, and I already have a stamp on it, so they just pop in their mailbox later that afternoon and I get it back. But the other cool thing is then I have all these postcards that are handwritten to show to people at open houses. So talk about building excitement. I mean, people can come in and I'm not even selling to them. People hate to be sold to, but they love to read these. I mean, they just flip through them. So it's just one more thing that we do to make sure that our client's house is represented properly. So I'll end this with the pricing strategy. A lot of people think of real estate as new listings go on at like Thursday night or Friday morning. And I don't agree with that. I think that's horrible. Like, it doesn't have enough time to get on all of the consumer sites. You don't have time to build the anticipation for your open houses that weekend. So I believe in installing a sign on Tuesday, and then we activate the listing on a Wednesday. So that gives me 24 hours of kind of a coming soon legally, because I can't do that. I can't promote a listing without being active, but I have 24 hours from the time that sign goes up to activate the listing. So I go active on a Wednesday, and that means Thursday morning, all of my social media, all of the consumer sites, I'm hitting the market before a lot of those people who are pressing go Thursday afternoon. So I think that definitely works out for my sellers. We hold open houses over the weekend, usually receive offers and review them on a Monday, and then we review and choose. So I believe in going on the market and staying on the market for at least a week to make sure that you did go to market, but that you got the right price. So as you guys know, my background is in logistics and corporate interior design. I feel like when I made the decision to not be in medicine, those two things have definitely trained me to be the realtor that I am. I hold a certification in negotiation, and I also hold a certification in condo law. I help people build new homes. I work with relocation companies, and I also teach real estate. So between all of that, I'm always trying to effectively help my client from some angle. And that is my presentation.